Hey YouTube, so I have another update with the 10K inverter, hybrid inverter. I've got everything online now except for the second set of panels. We've had some pretty crazy wind the last couple of days, so I haven't been able to get up there to put the other. I've got 2 of them on, but I need to put 8 more on there on the barn. The ones on, I just got done running conduit and running the wire for the ones on the shipping container here on the roof, and everything's tied in now and everything seems to be working. Let's see what we got here. We have, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the first solar array right here. This is the one that's on the shipping container. That's number 1 PV string. So it's saying 438 volts. It's not under a load right now because the batteries are fully charged, so it's not under a load. But if it was under a load, it'd be like 370 something if it was on a load. So this is the PV voltage. This is the voltage coming from the grid. And this is voltage going out to the AC out, and this is the voltage for the batteries. So I'm going to change this over now. This is amperage wise, so nothing's really drawing right now. I've got this stuff on the house. The AC compressor's not on in the house right now, but I got 2 circuits there right now that are working in the house, which are the kitchen and the garage, because the garage has 2 refrigerators in it, so it that's a big circuit in there. Anyways, yeah, so it doesn't have, it's not showing any amperage right now because the panels aren't putting out because there's nowhere for it to go right now. Nowhere. The batteries are charged and everything, so it's nowhere for it to go. This is 53 volts is the battery. This would tell the kilowatt hours right here, the kilowatt or kilowatts, not kilowatt hours. This would be kilowatt hours right here. Temperature, battery temp. This is maximum voltage. Maximum PV voltage is 500. That's actually when that's over voltage right there, 500. 264 is what I got coming in from the house, from the grid to the inverter, because this has a switch in there, so it switches over. So when the batteries are depleted and there's no solar, the PVs aren't putting out any power from for that, then it will switch over to the grid, and it'll pull from the grid, because the things that I have running on this, the loads I have on this, they can't be just gone without. I mean, because there's like refrigerators and freezers and stuff like that on the circuit, so don't want to have that stuff shut down. So it's grid tied like that. It's not back feeding back into the grid, but it's drawing from the grid if it needs to. But I've got it set right now. Everything is set for primarily only solar, for the charging of the batteries. Solar top priority for that, and I have the grid all last priority on everything, is just last. That's just the case. So these are the breakers. I told you this is going to be the second PV array string right here. It's already tied in. It's not hooked up at the panels yet because the panels aren't up yet, but I've got the wire ran already. This is the one that's on the shipping container, and this is out. This is in, AC in. Comes from my panel. That's the one I was talking about. That's 265 volts. It's coming from my panel. Where is it at? Right. Right at 265 coming from the panel. That's the in right here. So it comes directly from the panel. I've got a breaker in the panel. I've got a 60 amp breaker in the panel coming to here. And then it goes through another breaker right here, because I wanted to isolate everything so I could shut everything off to remove anything. If I needed to remove this inverter, I can shut completely down without going and taking off any of the devices or anything like that. So then I got this right here. This is the sub panel in here, because this is the 60 amp panel. This is the 60 watts or 60 volts. There, 60 amps that's going back to the house to feed all the circuits in the house. That's a 220 right there, going back to the house. And then these two right here, one's going to be a 30 for the outside RV plug on the outside of the shipping container, and the other one's going to be a 20 amp that's going to go out to the greenhouse for a circuit out to the greenhouse. So that's all tied in. And so this is AC out. Now this comes in, this is AC out, this is going to the house now. So this just goes out and up into here, into those breakers, and then out that way. After the breakers, it goes out to the house. Coming from the panel, coming from the main panel, is just a 60 amp main panel breaker coming to this breaker for the in. And then of course I got grounds and commons in there as well. These are the 250 amp breakers for the DC 48 volts. Like I said, I ran, this is all 1/0 cable, all 1/0 cable. Everything's 1/0. All the cables, all the battery ties are all 1/0. So because this thing can draw up to 200 amps for charging purposes. So that's that. I was gonna take this off, but I was gonna show you. Let's see here. I'm gonna put you down for a second. So here we are right here. Like I said, this is in right here, all in and all out right there. And then my other PV array will go right here, my other string, and then the DC right there. And that's pretty much it. It's got the communication ports on the bottom, communication comms. There's 2 datas and a couple other ones. This one right here would go to, has 4 functions, these switches, and you would hook different wires to them to go to different ones, different pins on lockout. One would be for if you had a generator online that would be starting up. If you ran low on battery backup, then the generator would start up. One is for switching, I don't really know off the top of my head right now. One is for, I got it right here. I'll look it up right here. Got the book right here. This is like a Bible to me. I've been in this book like so much. Let's see. Yeah, here they are right here. So you got two COM ports, and then this is the one for the. It's got 4 functions. Those dip pins, or whatever you want to call them, right here. Here they are. So one is switching signal output. One is temperature sampling, and one is remote off and on. That would be for the generator. Oh no, generator remote off and on. And this one's remote. I could have a remote that off on my Wi-Fi. If I had a Wi-Fi deal on this, I could probably restart it from my Wi-Fi. Or yeah, Wi-Fi. Anyways, so that's the inside of that. Can't lose my book right there. I put it right there because this is my Bible. It's what I've been reading the most of lately. Anyways, that's that. And then see what we got on here. I haven't backfilled yet. I haven't backfilled the trenches yet. That'll probably be the last thing I do, but I have to strap down this conduit right here. So I've got a box up there. Conduit. This is for the both PV setups right here. Comes down the conduit. I still got to run ground from the chassis of the racking system down to the grounding rod down here. I have in the ground. So there's the other setup down there. I think I showed it to you before. I've got 2 panels on there now, but I still got to finish them off. I got the panels up there and everything. It's just been, as you can see, it's windy out here today, and so I got to get up there and finish that. But I just got to drop that conduit in the ground, and the wire's already in it, and I'm just going to go up there and tie it all in. So that's really the bulk of the work that's left right there. Let's see. Golf cart. I haven't backfilled yet, but I'm working on it. So this is what I put in there. There's the panel. This is the sub panel that I put in here. Like I said, this is to the AC compressor, the kitchen, and the garage outlets, or the breakers right there. So I got the 60 and 20 and a 15, and then I put these seal ties. These are where my wires transition. They come up through the panel here and go to that's supplying the circuits that I just told you that I took off a couple of these circuits up here, and it also ties into this was the AC compressor. Now this goes to the solar, and the compressor is coming directly off that. I got it going down inside and tied directly into it with, you know, lugs on there, so it's all hooked up. Anyways, that's that. So like I said, I just got to backfill the trenches and finish that PV set down there, the PV string down there, and it will be good to go. But right now it's online, everything's working right now. So that's my dog Maggie. She hates when I ride the golf cart. She don't like it. There she is right there. Come here, Magdalene. Come Magdalene. Off-roading here, crossing this trench on my golf cart. Oh man. So that's it. That's the shipping container update, or the solar 10K solar update. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you guys like this, if you guys like my channel, please subscribe and share and all the stuff that you can do to help me out with my channel, because I'm trying to work on getting it going. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.